प्रभुपाद की जय। और प्रेमानंदे। Please give a round of applause to Vivian, Sia, Radha, Sid and all. Very nice team. This is new team, first time team. Second time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we'll do one round of chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So please repeat. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhar.
Shri Advaita Gadadhar.
Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. So thank you for chanting so nicely. So we'll chant the Mangalacharan prayers together so that we can have the right understanding of the Shastras by the mercy of the Sampradaya. So please repeat together. Om Ajnana Tirambrandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chashtu Ulumantena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirveshesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarani Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langate Gram Tatkipataham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Good to see everybody back. This is like a family. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर नहीं मिलते तो कैसा होता है, and मिलते तो कितना अच्छा लगता है ना. Every Friday from Wednesday onwards I start thinking कि Thursday one more day. जैसे ऑफिस में होता है ना, Friday they say thank God it's Friday. और मुझे Wednesday से ऐसा होता है one more day and then we'll all see each other. So thank you so much for giving your time, your association. I'm eternally grateful to all of you for coming week after week, month after month. There's nothing higher than devotee association in the life of a devotee. There's nothing higher. भक्तों के संग से बड़ा कोई चीज नहीं है. Thank you so much for coming. And I would like to thank Pankaj Prabhu and Pallavi Mataji for last week. It was very, very nice. They did a lot of hard work organizing and facilitating Bhakti Vriksha. So please give a round of applause to Pankaj Prabhu. Thank you. So they say we have taller buildings but shorter tempers. We have wider freeways but narrow minds. We have more conveniences but less time. We have conquered the outer space but we have forgotten to navigate the inner space. They say that we have guided missiles but misguided people. We have guided missile but misguided people. So when we come in association of devotees, when we come in touch with Shastras, and when we come in touch with the holy name, a misguided fortune, the misguided mind, and the misguided thought process all gets aligned to GPS. What is GPS? Guru Parampara system. Right? So when we come week after week, month after month, the misguided mindset, the deluded mindset gets aligned to the right mindset. So thank you so much. As usual, we'll do a very, very quick recap and then we'll share the realization. Who has to do a recap today? Prabhuji's. Alright, we'll start from the back. Rajesh Prabhu, 1 point. All the Prabhuji's, rapid fire round, be very ready. 1 point.
कल ही बता दिया था भविष्य वाणी कल ही.
हरी. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of हरी बोल. छोकरा ना आवाज बोल रहा है. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let the kids settle down first.
Very excited for their dance.
Oh, they're excited for their dance. Okay, the dress is delayed. Okay, let the kids settle. Rajesh Prabhu, दरवाजा बंद कर दो ना, please. Thank you so much. Sorry, Prabhuji. Okay, we'll start again. Rajesh Prabhu, please.
Yes, by chanting, you become very humble, and then it's easy to connect it to Krishna.
So chanting makes people humble, and humble people can chant. Reverse is also right. Arrogant people will never chant the holy name because they don't say time nahi hai, zarurat nahi hai, I don't need to chant now. I have a lot of time. I will chant later in the fag end of my life. Thank you. Very, very deep point. Chanting makes people humble, but humble people can chant. Satatam kirto yanto mam kirtaniya sada hari. Thank you. Very nice one. Anybody else? Next problem.
Bhakti is not part of life. It is experience of death.
Bhakti is not part of life, but prayer till death. It is prayer till death. So that is the reason we say life is a preparation, death is an examination. So Karthik has exam today, tomorrow morning. He's fully prepared, so he can sit comfortably like this. But if you are not prepared, and if we have exam tomorrow, then we will always be in stress, in anxiety. But death is that exam which comes without announcement. Right? Death is that exam that it comes anytime, anywhere, any moment. So thank you. Thank you, Saurabh Prabhu. Yes, next.
Mind is an expert. Mind is an expert is expert in undervaluing what we have and overvaluing what we don't have.
Very good point. Mind is expert in undervaluing what we have and overvaluing what we don't have. So that is the reason we should be grateful. We can not be grateful for all situations in life. We cannot be grateful for all situations in life, but we can certainly be grateful in all situations in life. Someone Mara? For we cannot be grateful for all situations in life, but we can be certainly grateful in all situations in life. Someone Mara? It is very deep. Thank you. Wonderful point. Yes, Raj Prabhu. Yes, nice.
Association with the devotee is more important than chanting holy name.
Between association and chanting the holy name, association is more important. Thank you. Thank you. Kumaran Prabhu. And then Rajiv Prabhu.
It is better to do your own duty imperfectly rather than do other people's duty perfectly.
Jai. It is very dangerous. Krishna uses the word dangerous. It is better to do your dharma imperfectly rather than copying or comparing and doing someone else's duty. It is very dangerous. Krishna is saying we should not compare. Yes, Rajiv Prabhu.
Krishna, I am nothing, I was nothing, I will be nothing, and you are everything.
Jai. This is one of the definitions of humility. Krishna, I am nothing. I was nothing. I will be nothing, and you are everything. We will be just ashes very soon. It is just matter of time. ये जो 40, 50, 60, 100 किलो का जो शरीर है, it will be just converted into ashes very, very soon. It is just matter of time. It is just matter of time. Thank you. Yes.
Biggest enemy is the mind, and the full form was magnify.
Ignorance.
Imagination, magnify,
Okay,
neglect opportunity.
Okay, so mind is the biggest enemy and it is the best friend. And then we discuss the acronym MIND. What does M stands for?
Magnifying.
Magnifies the problem. I imagines pleasure. N
Neglect opportunity.
neglect opportunities. And D
Denial.
denies reality. Please give a round of applause to everybody. Very nice. Bravo. Do we all agree with this definition of mind? Huh? And we were talking about halwa and kheer. Sab bhul gaye. We were talking about halwa and kheer. The mind will start imagine pleasure. प्रसाद में हलवा है, खीर है, कब मिलेगा, कब खाएगा? Image. What do we have to imagine today? So आज का मेन्यू है इडली, सांभर, चटनी है माता जी, चटनी, केक, लड्डू, lemon rice. Now you can imagine. I won't tell the name of a devotee, but he said, प्रभु जी फ्राइडे आने का एक फायदा ये होता है कि इतनी वैरायटी में तो मैं मेरे घर पे भी नहीं मिलती जितनी फ्राइडे मिलती है. One devotee told me, I won't name them. He said, प्रभु जी फ्राइडे जो मेन्यू मिलता है, जो वैरायटी मिलती है, वो हमें वीकडे पे भी नहीं मिलती. I will not ask do we agree or not. All right, next. Who would like to go next? Yes, Dilu Prabhu.
So 4 A's of Bhakti, alignment with Krishna, accept Krishna, that Krishna is everything, acting on behalf of Krishna, and acting for the pleasure of Krishna.
Jai. This is the sum and substance of all Shastras. What is the first A? Alignment with Krishna. Second A? Acceptance of Krishna, that He is everything. Third A? Acting on behalf of Krishna. And the fourth A? For the pleasure of Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Dilip. Very nice. Yes?
We talked about worldwide stupidity.
WWS. Worldwide stupidity. What else does it mean?
Work like donkeys.
Work, watch and shop. गधों की तरह मंडे टू फ्राइडे काम करो, फिर देखो मोबाइल पे, फेसबुक पे, टीवी पे कि क्या खरीदना है. Work, then watch, and then weekend में shop. My colleague always says, all what I earn, I earn 5 days, I spend in 2 days. Weekend में पूरा उड़ा देता है. Yes. What else will be discussed? One more point.
Empowerment comes from instruction. Empowerment.
Very good. Very good. Please give a round of applause to very good. Empowerment in bhakti comes from instructions. So when we follow the instructions of senior Vaishnavas, we may not have power to do anything, but because someone is telling us something to do and we are attempting to do it, it is their mercy which will flow through us. Nimitta matra savya sachi. Krishna says, fight, because I want you to take the credit. Hare Krishna. I want you to take the credit. So sometimes when we do things, it may be beyond our understanding, beyond our conception, but it will happen because there is a mercy of Vaishnavas behind us, mercy of Krishna flowing through those instructions. So in Krishna consciousness, if we want to progress, you cannot progress in Krishna consciousness with strategies. You only progress in Krishna consciousness with sadhana. So 2S. You cannot progress in Krishna consciousness with strategies. मैं ऐसा कर लूँगा और भगवान को खुश कर लूँगा. मैं ऐसा कर लूँगा, so सब लोग भक्त लोग ना, they will be impressed by me. No. So we don't progress in Krishna consciousness by strategies. We progress in Krishna consciousness by sadhana. Thank you. Anybody else would like to add anything before we go for realizations?
We discussed about calamity, that sincere devotees become more sincere during calamity, and insincere devotees become more insincere during calamity.
Yes. Problem makes sincere devotee more sincere, and problem makes insincere devotee more insincere. This is a very important key takeaway message. जब लाइफ में दिक्कत आती है, when there are difficulties in life, for a devotee that is an opportunity. Calamity makes opportunity, because when there is calamity, that is an opportunity for devotee to come closer to Krishna. But an opportunity which takes us away from Krishna, it is the biggest calamity of life. I repeat, calamity is the biggest opportunity. An opportunity which takes us away from Krishna, it is biggest calamity. Many times people get swayed away with ghar, gadi, bangla, job, बहुत busy हो. My life is very busy. I don't have time, can't sleep on time, can't get up on time. That is a loss of opportunity. That is the reason I keep saying in every third or fourth class, what do I say, Dolly Mataji? The loss of a moment is to forget Krishna. The profit of a moment is to remember Krishna. So how much are we making a day? Not the salary. We are not making that. What we are making a day from an eternal perspective is how often in a day have we thought about Krishna, tried to serve a devotee. That is our profit. That is our wealth of the day. Is this making sense? Swalpa api apyasya dharmasya. Whatever we do in bhakti, that remains ours eternally. Everything else gets taken away in 1 second. At the time of all the health, all the wealth, all the name, all the fame, all the beauty, everything will be taken away in 1 second. But the only thing which cannot be taken away at the time of death is the bhakti which we do. Thank you so much for the recap. Let's do very, very quick improvements or realizations. Anybody would like to share their last week? Kaisa raha? Any improvements in sadhana which can inspire each other?
We attended first time the Mahamangla Aarti with other devotees on Sunday.
Yes, we had a Mahamangla on last Sunday. So once a month, as a family, we request devotees to come to Mangla so that they can experience what the morning program is all about. Can you please share your experience, Kasara? Magic?
It's the first time I did 16 rounds.
Please give a round of applause. Jai.
And it just felt absolutely different. Like I chant every day. I'm almost very close to 16 rounds. But the feeling of chanting in Prabhupada's room with the other devotees, it was just insane, magical. Out of the world.
Jai. 16 rounds in morning. It is very, very easy. The toughest thing to do is to do 2 rounds, 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds during the course of the day. Like, for example, Chinmay Prabhu moved to Pakenham. If you want to go from Pakenham to airport, peak hour, it can take 2 hours. But in the morning, from Pakenham to airport, 50 minutes. Bang. Yes or no?
Yes.
Similarly, 16 rounds in the morning in one sitting. Bang. 1 hour 40 minutes, 1 hour 50 minutes. No problem. But the same 16 rounds, 4 round, 6 round subah, 4 round afternoon mein, 2 round sham mein, 2 round sote. If we give priority to Krishna, Krishna gives priority to us. So who are we giving priority in life? To sleep? To Maya? Once someone told, my life is very busy. And he told this to Amrendra Prabhu, to a wrong person, the right thing. What did he say? My life is very busy. And whom did he say this to? Amrendra Prabhu. And Amrendra Prabhu said, even an ant is very busy. Even an ant. कभी देखा है चींटी को एक जगह खड़े हुए? Has anybody seen an ant standing and doing nothing? Running here and there. And sometimes the ant which carries a small sugar on his head, the ant thinks so much of weight. सारी दुनिया का बोझ हम उठाते हैं. कौन से पिक्चर का गाना है? कूली. So, कूली क्यों है? सारी दुनिया का बोझ हम उठाते हैं. ऐसा ही तो चींटी है ना, भागती इधर उधर और सोचती है कि पूरा सब कुछ मैं कर रहा हूँ. Similarly, we run around like headless chook and we think, because of me, my family is maintained. Because of me, the sun is rising, and because of me, the earth is rotating. Right? So, thank you for sharing. Anybody else would like to share? Yes, Prabhu.
I would like to share today's example. Like today, I got work. Like I don't have that much work on weekdays, but today I had to go to work. But like there was nothing to eat for the work, so I took some fruits because I don't want to buy anything from the outside. So surprisingly, my co-worker, she went to a temple, like there's a temple in Karamdown temple. So she got me something from there. I didn't even told her that get it for me or something like that, but she got it from temple and we had that.
Jai, this is Krishna's arrangement.
I called my mom and like she's like, Krishna did it for you. I got
Absolutely.
I was surprised. I was like, how is it possible? Like, how is it like possible? Like, I didn't even tell her. Like, I didn't tell anyone. But I just got some fruits and she got temple's food for me.
Krishna is more worried about us than we are worried about ourselves. Krishna is more worried about us than we are worried about ourselves. But we are bahirmukha. That means we have turned away from Krishna. We should be antarmukha, that we should face Krishna. This is such a good example. How old are you, Gita?
20.
At 20, I don't even want to tell them what I was doing. 20 साल का लड़का है. Look at this guy. Look at these people. These are examples to us. He was saying I was chanting every day 16 rounds, and devotees are so nice. Anybody who comes in this house, anybody who comes to the temple, they are coming because Krishna is inviting them. Nobody can come into this place without Krishna's invitation. And if we have this mood, then we will understand the Shastras better. Nobody can buy a ticket to Vrindavan. You can't say, कि मेरे पास ticket है मैं वृंदावन जा रहा हूँ. I want to go to temple. No. You have to be invited to come to the temple because that is Krishna's house. This is Radharani's house. Gaur Lita is staying over here. This is Krishna Katha is happening. There are millions of demigods, devis and devtas right now in this room which we cannot see because there's a Krishna Katha. We should have faith in that. There are who else is over here? Millions of devis and devtas are present here right now. If I tell you there are millions of microns and electrons and protons and germs, everybody will accept it. But the moment we say devis and devtas, मुंडी ऐसा होता है लेकिन अंदर में और कुछ बत्ती जलती है. क्या बात कर रहा है? Because it is beyond our understanding. This is inconceivable. But wherever there is Krishna Katha, there are certainly Devi and Devta listening to it. We should have complete faith in it. Anybody else would like to share the realization? We have 5 more minutes. Pura week ka. Yes, Manoj Prabhu.
From today, I and Sneha started during the morning japa.
I saw you. Thank you so much.
So we did 5 rounds, at least a start. So we want to improve the number counts.
Jai. Please give a round of applause to Sneha Mataji and Manoj Prabhu. 5 rounds ki jai. It's Sneha Mataji's appearance day today. It's her birthday today. So thank you, Mataji. What a beautiful start. Give a round of applause. When you chant together as a family, there's nothing better than that. We sit in front of the idiot box and we say, क्या मजा आ रहा है? TV. TV का मतलब क्या है? Tell a lie vision. Television. Tell a lie vision. That is television. तो अपनी जो vision है उसे झूठ करती है. Tell a lie vision. That is television. But when a family who chants together, they praise together, that stays together. Thank you, Manoj Prabhu. Anybody else? Usha Mataji, you were there in Mangla.
I really enjoyed it. No words to express. It was just like Mataji was saying, magical. Just singing and dancing amongst the devotees. It was just like I just felt like I was in another world, like another spiritual world. It was just amazing. Magical, yeah.
I can relate to that.
Also the chanting, you're just so engrossed with the atmosphere and Prabhupada's room and just wondering how amazing the things he's done and just thinking about it, and before you know it, you've just completed your chanting, and then what do you do for half an hour? So you just continue on chanting, and it was amazing experience.
Thank you. Because I remember I used to live in Point Cook before we moved to the temple. We used to live near in Point Cook, and I used to come from Mangla with another devotee. And after attaining the whole Mangla, when we were going back home till Port Melbourne, it was just like जब anesthesia के injection देते हैं, you're numb, right? And slowly the dose goes off, and then you start realizing the pain is coming back. ऐसा हुआ किसी को? Right? When you have a tooth extraction, when you get, this is the most worst example to give, but when you get the tooth extracted, और जब वो injection देता है, सब numb हो जाता है, right? उसके बाद जो करना है करने दो. And after that, when the asar कम होती है, the reality kicks in. Similarly, when you come from Mangla, it is a complete 4, 5, 6 hours is different. But when you start going home, then the reality of the life sinks in. अरे यार ये कहाँ वापस आ गया ऐसा लगता है, isn't it? Anybody else? One more or 2 more devotees. Please share. जो share करेगा वो बब्बर, बहुत पास अमोल लीला प्रभु से, जो share करेगा वो बब्बर share होगा. Samogila proposal. जो शेयर करेगा वो बब्बर शेयर होगा. So please share so that it helps each other. Yes, Dolly Mataji and Kumar Prabhu. Yes, Dolly Mataji.
Prabhuji, this is regarding one day for Krishna.
Oh, yes.
So, the one day for Krishna answered my dream वाला question जो मैंने आपसे पूछा था. उसके next day मेरे को realize हुआ what was the answer to my question.
Okay.
और apart from that, I increased my rounds.
Jai.
And I had this realization that I just completed my masters, and Monday को ही मैंने सोचा बैठ के. I met so many people, Rayavata Das, Sunny Nivasan Prabhu, and everybody is doing so much. They have so much knowledge. और फिर मेरे को realize हुआ कि I'm looking for a job, ठीक है. और मैं 10 राउंड कर रही हूँ, ठीक है. बट मैं 16 क्यों नहीं कर रही हूँ? What is the excuse? Excuse is nothing. हम लोग जबरदस्ती के excuse डालते. फिर मैं सोचती कि स्नो की धीरे धीरे बढ़ना है. But then again, अगर मैं धीरे धीरे जाऊँगी तब मेरे पास जॉब होगी. Then I will have an excuse. So why not today? And then you always say the profit of a moment is to remember Krishna and the loss of a moment is to forget Krishna. So why not today? And I started 16. Since then I'm doing 16.
Jai! Please give a round of applause. And she gets up early in the morning and she joins the Japa group with videos and camera on. So thank you so much. Very inspirational.
And I was inspired by everybody sitting there, even kids. They are doing better than us. And मुझे लगता है कि अगर मैं 16 नहीं कर रही हूँ ना, that मतलब मैं excuse ढूंढ रही हूँ. I find it this way. If I'm not doing 16, that means I'm finding an excuse to not to do 16.
This is very profound. Very, very
so this
profound.
is my realization from one day for Krishna, and it was really nice.
Thank you.
Another answer is my team's answer. It was surrender. I'll tell you the question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Mother. Kumar and Rupu. And then we'll start today's class.
Last 1 week I was able to restart my chanting in the morning. I was doing broken chanting. I was doing properly in the morning and started breaking it because mind took me away. But I'm able to get up in the morning and chant 16 rounds in the morning.
Jai, please give a round of applause. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Please share the information about being Ekadasi timings also.
Yes, I will. Thank you. मैंने लिखा हुआ है, last में announcement में है, definitely. All right, who would like to? Yes, please.
Just one question in my mind that in third chapter we talk regarding Buddhi Yoga and Dharma Yoga. One more point is for Shankhi Yoga, which I read in 3.3. So, just what is the exact meaning of Shankhi?
Sankhya Yoga. Okay, we'll discuss this today. I've got a slide for it. Then I can. I think I've got a slide. Remind me when we come to Bhagavad Gita. We'll discuss. I've got a slide for it. Lucky this is coincidence. All right. Can I request someone to read? Sid, beta, are you okay to read?
Anji. Rather than hear the impersonalist conceptions of Sri Shankara, the common man should chant the Mahamantra of self-realization. Lord Chaitanya immediately informed Prakashananda that in the modern age, people in general are more or less bereft of all spiritual intellect. When such people come under the influence of Shankara's Mayavadi, impersonalist philosophy, before beginning the most confidential Vedanta sutras, the natural tendency towards obedience to the Supreme is checked. The supreme source of everything is naturally respected by everyone, but this natural tendency is hampered when one takes to the impersonalist conceptions of Shankara. Thus, the spiritual master Lord Chaitanya suggested that it is better that one not study the Sariraka Bhasya of Shankaracharya, for it is very harmful to people in general. Indeed, the common man does not even have the intelligence to penetrate into the jugglery of words. He is better advised to chant the Mahamantra. Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
In this quarrelsome age of Kali, there is no alternative for self-realization. Teaching of Lord Chaitanya.
Sure. Thank you. So what are the important points? What is Prabhupada trying to say? What is the message for us?
if you want to self-realize in this yuga, you need to chant rather than doing any other thing.
If you want to be self-realized in the age of Kali, the fastest and the simplest way is to chant the holy name. See, there are 5 ways of connecting. There are 5 ways of connecting to what we are doing. The first way is asking, what is Hare Krishna? Many people come to the temple, they have prasadam and they go away. This is the first level of connection. Okay? What is Hare Krishna? They come, the newcomer, they have no idea of philosophy, they come to the temple, people like Raj Prabhu give some prasadam and they go away. That is the first level. The second level of connection is I like the Hare Krishnas. अच्छे लोग हैं, भले लोग हैं. Right? They like the devotees of the temple, they appreciate the deities in the temple, and they are the well-wishers of the devotees and the movement. So what is the first level?
What is Hare Krishna?
What is Hare Krishna? What is the second level?
I like
Hare Krishna. Now the third level is I am Hare Krishna. What does this mean?
I am one of the devotees.
I am one of the devotees, or becoming a devotee of the Hare Krishna, of Krishna. What does it mean? We come once a week to the temple. We come once a week to these sort of programs. We sometimes apply tilak, sometimes wear a kanti. This is a very initial stage of our coming into the Krishna consciousness movement. So I am Hare Krishna. Now it intensifies. The fourth stage is my life is Hare Krishna. My life is Hare Krishna. What does this mean? We take the process of what the philosophy is offering us very seriously. What does it mean? We chant the 16 rounds. We follow 4 regulative principles. Even when we call, we say Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam, Kaise ho? All the normal lingos. So at any situation of life, we say Hare Krishna. Sukh ho ya dukh ho. This is the 4th level of connection. And the 5th level of connection is my mission is Hare Krishna. What is the 5th level of connection? My mission is Hare Krishna. What does this mean? Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. That means wherever I am, jare dekho tare dekho Krishna upadesh. That means I will talk about Krishna, or else I will hear about Krishna. Nothing else. My focus in life is very clear. I want to serve devotees, I want to serve the deities, and I want to be a good human being. This is the mission of my life. So what is level 5?
mission.
My mission is Hare Krishna. Level 4? My life is Hare Krishna. Level 3? I am Hare Krishna. Level 2? And level 1? What is Hare Krishna? To understand the 4th and the 5th level, one of the most important things we need to do is we need to understand that Krishna is a person. Krishna is a person. Prabhupada over here is hammering the point of Mayavad philosophy. Right? What does Mayavad philosophy mean by? That in Mayavad philosophy, people believe God doesn't have a form. भगवान का कोई स्वरूप नहीं होता है, and everything is Maya. Everything is Maya. Even Krishna is Maya. And they have this philosophy that the living entity and the Supreme Lord are non-different. I repeat, please ध्यान से सुनना, because this is little bit complex to understand. Mayavad philosophy means the living entity and the Lord are both non-different. The Lord has become the living entity because of his imperfection. But they say, when you chant, when you worship, when you do the yagnas properly, you will also become God. तो आप भी भगवान हो, मैं भी भगवान हूं, सब भगवान है। ये सुना है कभी? प्लीज बी ऑनेस्ट, ये सुना होगा ना? एवरीबडी इज गॉड, यू आर गॉड, आई एम गॉड, एवरीबडी इज गॉड, ये सुना है? नो, दिस इज नॉट राइट। एवरीबडी इज नॉट गॉड. God is God and we are his part and parcel. ममई वंश जीवा लोका जीवा भूता सनातना. एक बेटा कभी बाप नहीं हो सकता, एक बेटा कभी मां नहीं हो सकता है. Similarly, I am Krishna's part. I am not God, but I am the servant of the Lord. Is this making sense? But the Mayavadi philosophy says, because of Maya, we all are covered in Maya now. That is the reason we are not God. But once we become perfect, then we will become God. No, that is not right. God is never made. God does not become. God is always God. I repeat, God is always God. God is never made and God does not become. Right? So we should understand this philosophy very, very clearly. Ki we are the part and parcel of the Lord. My job description is to serve the Lord and serve the devotees. We are not here to purify ourselves, become perfect and become God. This is what the Mayavadi philosophy says. Okay, you become perfect one day and you will become God. And the Vaishnava philosophy of all the sampradayas, all the bona fide sampradayas, what do they teach? That we are never God, but we are always the servant of the God. Because when we don't serve the God, who do we serve?
Maya.
Maya. We serve the nation, we serve the family, we serve the country, we serve the community. Because the nature of the soul is to serve. The soul is dynamic. Soul is not static. Soul is dynamic. So the soul has to serve. So this is very, very important. And that is the reason Prabhupada is hammering this point and this purport. In fact, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is saying this. The people in the age of Kali, they don't have the right spiritual intellect. And they get carried away to become God. And this is not right. This is not right. So there are two types of dangerous people in the world. One type of person is atheist, and second type of the people is the Mayavadis. Why atheist? Because they use everything of the Lord and they say that God is not there. हर चीज भगवान की यूज करते हैं. They use everything from the Lord, but they don't want to accept the presence of the Lord. That is one category. So they are only takers. They take the breath from the Lord. They take the intelligence from the Lord. In fact, we put food in the mouth. उसके बाद क्या होता है? Do we ever worry about it? We put one nivala, one bite in the mouth. Then what happens? Have we ever thought? Krishna says, I am the fire. मैं जठर अग्नि. You know the word जठर अग्नि? Krishna says, I am the fire. So in our belly, who is digesting the food? Have you ever thought? Have you ever thought? हम खाना मुंह पे रख देते हैं और next डालते हैं, फिर third डालते हैं, then fourth. Where is the food going and who is digesting all this? And हम सोचते नहीं है. We think science is digesting. Science in the small intestine, large intestine. I'll tell you something. Last Friday, some of you were not here, but for people who were here, we met Sunny Nivas Prabhu, right? उनके साथ उनके wife भी थे. When she gave birth to her son, Suraj, 16 years ago, she had a very difficult pregnancy and her large intestine was completely taken out. And when the large intestine gets taken out, the rectum, where you pass the stool, gets taken out. For the last 16 years, she doesn't have a rectum, so she passes the stool in a bag. Can you imagine this? 16 साल से She's passing the stool in a bag. Have you ever thought passing stool can be so pleasurable or miserable? We don't appreciate so many things in life. This Wednesday, every Wednesday, I have Mangala Aarti service in the temple. Right? Every Wednesday. This Wednesday, I woke up as usual, और गर्म पानी नहीं आ रहा था. Now you can imagine, I brushed, shave किया, तब तक मैं सोचा अभी आएगा. Shave किया, and you have to go to Mangala on time, because Mangala means 4:25 the doors have to open, the 4:30 the Aarti has to open. And 4:25 I have to be there, that means I have to be there. And garam pani nahi aa raha hai. Now I don't have time to go and check and see if burner on karo and do anything. I had to have a shower with cold water. And I was appreciating the hot water. How often do we appreciate hot water? Have you ever appreciated hot water? When Amit Prabhu said when we caught up, he used a word, very nice word, when we caught up at my house. He said, this is the first world problem. He used that word, that has stuck in my mind. I never thought, this is the first world problem. I come from a city called Hyderabad, and where I lived all my life, we had challenges of water every day. किसी के घर में पानी का problem था? Hyderabad, okay. Most of the days, I and my brother were going up, bucket भर के पानी लाऊं, and मम्मी सुबह सुबह बूम मारती थी. 7 से 8 बजे पानी आने वाला है. 7 to 8 o'clock the water is going to come. सब लोग लाइन लगा के खड़े रह रहे. This happened for years together because there's no water. Right? So atheists, coming back to the role, atheists are those people who forget the existence of the Lord. They don't want to accept the existence of the Lord, and they don't want to understand the philosophy behind it. That is one dangerous type of people. The second type of dangerous person is Mayavadi. They don't want to accept the Lord as a person, and they don't want to accept worshipping Lord as a person. Because the moment you accept Lord as a person, then you have to have relationship with Him. You have to follow His instruction. These are the two dangerous type of people. So when we chant the holy name, when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, as Raj Prabhu mentioned, two types of people are there. When you chant the holy name, you become humble. And only humble people can chant the holy name. Right? So it's a catch-22. Chicken first or egg first? Right? Who can chant the holy name? Only humble people. But when you chant the holy name, you become humble. Okay. So when we chant the holy name, especially the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, in the age of Kali, nothing else is going to work. Understand, all of us are in ICU. All of us are right now in ICU. We all have an emergency situation because death is around the corner, and if we want to perfect our life in very short time, then only thing which will help us and work with us is only chanting the holy name. Nothing else will work. No big pujas, no big havans, no big shloka recitation. Nothing will work. Nothing will work. Big shloka recitation, as I was saying this last time also, once a devotee brought a Western devotee in Los Angeles to Prabhupada, and he said, Prabhupada, this devotee knows all 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. By heart, huh? A Western devotee, a Westerner, knows all 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada asked, can you live one shloka? What did Prabhupada ask? Can you live one shloka? Even a parrot can repeat the shlokas. श्लोकास बोलना, याद करना, बड़ी बड़ी बातें करना, वो तोता भी कर सकता है. उसके लिए ह्यूमन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ वेस्ट करने की क्या जरूरत है? We are not saying it is not important to learn shlokas and understand and quote. It is important. But more important than anything is chanting the holy name, because that will purify the heart, that will purify the mind, and that will purify the senses. Is this making sense? So there's nothing higher than that. Any questions, comments, corrections on what we have just discussed on Namamrita? Yes, Kumar Prabhu, and then Vikram Prabhu. Yes.
I just have a question on Mayavadis. You mentioned that they don't believe in a form of the Lord, right? They doesn't have any form. But then you also mentioned that when they start believing after Maya is gone, they are God. Then doesn't it contradict?
So, okay, so Mayavadis don't believe in the form of the Lord. So we have two types of people, Mayavadis and Brahmavadis. So Brahmavadis understand that Lord is everywhere. And we also accept Lord is everywhere. Once a teacher told a student, you give me the address of God and I will give you $100. A teacher tells the student, you give me the address of the Lord and I will give you $100. And the student is telling the teacher, you give me a place where the Lord doesn't exist, I'll give you $1 million. You give me a place where the Lord doesn't exist and I will give you $1 million. So the Lord exists everywhere. Bhagwan har kan mein hai. God is in every atom and between two atoms. So God is everywhere. But the Mayavadi philosophy is, they think that everything is Maya, you perfect your life and then you become God. That is a dog philosophy, Prabhupada said. That is a dog philosophy, kutte ki philosophy.
Is that the same where they say everything is illusion?
Yes, they said everything is illusion. Har cheez Maya hai, and even Krishna is in Maya. No, not everything is illusion. Illusion, the Maya Shakti is an energy of the Lord. Maya Shakti is an energy of the Lord. Did I answer your question, Kumar and Prabhu? Right? I'll come to Vikram Prabhu and then come. Yes, Vikram Prabhu.
आपने एक शब्द कहा है सेंटेंस कृष्णा ही माया है या कृष्णा इन माया?
कृष्णा ही माया है.
कृष्णा ही माया इसका अर्थ क्या होगा?
मैंने ऐसा शब्द नहीं यूज किया. I never said that Krishna is Maya.
कृष्णा इन माया? कृष्णा इन माया और?
Did I say that? No.
मैं शायद मैंने मिस किया.
No. So Mayavadi says Krishna, everything is Maya. Even Krishna is Maya. This is the philosophy which Mayavadi says. But we refute this philosophy because Vaishnava philosophy doesn't accept that.
Probably who are Mayavadis?
Mayavadis are those people who says that living entity and the Lord are on the same platform. Because the Lord, everybody is an illusion. You perfect your life and you will become Lord. आप भगवान बन सकते हो, माता जी आप भी भगवान बन सकते हो. आप सिर्फ पूजा पाठ करो, आप भगवान बन जाओगे. And that is the reason what they say, मानव सेवा is माधव सेवा. ये सुना है कभी? मानव सेवा is माधव सेवा. But what we believe, what we do, we say Manav Seva is important and Madhav Seva is also important. So we serve Manav, which is the devotees, and we serve Madhav, which is Krishna. So there are two different things, Prabhuji. Please understand this very, very carefully and extremely wisely, because or else you'll get the philosophy wrong. So Manav Seva is important and Madhav Seva is important. Both are different, not the same. मानव सेवा का डेस्टिनेशन अलग है, माधव सेवा का डेस्टिनेशन अलग है. I'll give you one example, then we'll jump on to Bhagavad Gita. So if a small boy is crying on the road, and you go and see him that he's crying and you ignore and walk away, that is option number A. बच्चा रो रहा है, you see him crying and you ignore and walk away. Second, option number 2, the small boy is crying, you give him some chocolate or Cadbury and you walk away. It is better than the first option, correct? Yes? Yes or no? Yes. So what is the first option? Walk away. What is the second option? Give him some food. But the third option is ask the boy, Baba, why are you crying? And he said, I'm separated from my parents. and then you hold the hand of the boy and take him to his family and reunion with him, what is best option out of three? Third. Why?
Root cause of the problem, right?
Perfect. Give a round of applause to Meenakshi Madhavi. The root cause of the problem is separation from the parent. Our root cause of the problem is not roti kapda makan. Our root cause of suffering in our life today because we are separated from the Lord. We are separated from the Lord. When someone comes and tells us who we are and where we have to go and have that reunion eternally with the Lord, where you never have to take a birth again, death again, disease again, old age again, no Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, no more problems ever eternally. What is more important? What is more valuable? That is what Bhagavad Gita offers. That is why we come over here every Friday. That this is a process of reunion with Krishna. Of course, we feed prasadam and we have good association. So we cover the level 2 and level 3 both. Okay? Yes. Can I take a question at the end? Is that okay? Or is it related to this one? Okay, is that okay? Because I want to jump onto Bhagavad Gita and then we'll take questions towards the end. Is that okay, beta? Alright, no problem. So let's start. Today we are going to complete chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 3, Karma Yoga. And today we're going to do verse number 35 to 42. 36 to 42. So before we do that, a very, very quick summary or recap of Karma Yoga. So the acronym of Karma Yoga is TREE. The T stands for? Tyag. Why Tyag? Who wants to explain? What is Arjun's? What is he confused over here?
Which is better, the path of knowledge or the action?
Please give a round of applause. Very good. I'm assuming you padh ke aaye ho. Yes. Padhte rehte. I know you read Bhagavad Gita. So Arjun is confused. कि path of action or path of renunciation. मैं सब छोड़ के आके चले जाऊं? Shall I leave everything? छोड़ो घर बार, चलो हरिद्वार. Right? This is what Arjun wanted. I want to leave everything here. I don't want to fight. कई बार होता है ना? Sunday night we have this feeling. Monday, do I have to really go to work? Right? Do you think? School, do I really have to go to school? So Arjun is in that phase. Next are rugs on the yoga ladder. So Krishna explains the different yoga, right? Then E is exemplary. So Krishna is telling Arjun to become an example. Yet ashrati shrestha tat tat eva itro janaha. 3rd chapter 21 verse. So Krishna wants Arjun to be an example. Is it only Arjun to be an example?
Krishna is showing himself as
Krish-
an example.
Krishna is showing himself to be an example. Krishna wants Arjun to be an example. And who else Krishna wants to be an example? Everybody to be an example. Krishna wants every Jivatma to be an example. The question is, are we living a life of an example or not? It's a deep question. So please think about it. Is my life an inspiration to my family? Is my life an inspiration to others? Am I inspiring others or am I perspiring others? Perspiring का मतलब मैं किसी के लहर में से पसीना छोड़ रहा हूँ, अरे बाबा वापस आ गया बा, ऐसा होता है ना? Is it making sense? Am I inspiring others or am I perspiring others? Perspiring का मतलब पसीना, right? Is it the right English word? Perspiring others, right? Okay. And today we are going to discuss one of the most important topics of Bhagavad Gita. Enemy of the soul. अपना दुश्मन कौन है? I asked last time in one of my classes, अपना दुश्मन कौन है? And then Mataji said, my mother-in-law. So immediately the mother-in-law. All right. So we discussed renunciation or work, karma yoga, different yogas, examples, and today from 3.36 to 43, be aware of lust and anger. So let's see what is coming up today. Who can read? Okay. Oh, I should have done this. Okay, better. Okay, I forgot to take the purple off. Okay, can you read Gita from 36? Please pay very, very careful attention to this first 3 verses. Of course, every verse, but this is okay. This I can easy. Purple there. Okay. 36, 37, and 38, please.
Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust.
Jai. What is happening over here? What is the first verse about? Who can explain and who can relate to this? Yes. What is happening?
Well, Arjun wants to know what actually is a sin, whether you intend to do it or not, what's actually a sin in this world.
Okay. Good answer. Okay, what else? What is the Arjun's? Why is Arjun asking this question? What is the question of Arjun? Let's understand the question.
Why does the sin happen?
Why does sin happen? Okay, what else?
What is that force
which
makes you do something you're not supposed to?
Correct. We know what is right. We know what is wrong. In spite of knowing what is right, in spite of knowing what is wrong, we sometimes does and sometimes do the right thing. Do we all agree with this? हमें पता है कि जीवन में सही क्या है, हमें पता है कि जीवन में गलत क्या है. In spite of knowing what is right, in spite of knowing what is wrong, we get succumbed to the wrong things most of the time. Let's be honest, yes or no?
Yes.
Let's be honest, yes or no? We know that we should sleep on time, get up on time. We know what to eat, what not to eat. We know what to speak, what not to speak. Right? They say that it takes 2 years for someone to speak the first word, and it takes a lifetime it takes a lifetime for what not to speak. I repeat, it takes 2 years to speak the first word, but it takes a lifetime for someone to understand what not to speak. Do we all agree with this? Similarly, we know what is right, we know what is wrong. In spite of that, oh Krishna, what is that which is impelling me to do things which are sinful? And what is Krishna's answer?
Lust, knowledge.
No, not knowledge. Not lust. Lust is kama. Ichai.
Self-gratification.
Sense gratification. So Krishna is giving an answer that it is lust alone. Kama eva, krodha esha, samoda, samudvaha. Right? So Krishna is saying it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with material mode of passion. When we are in too much of passion, people become very lusty. Right? Now there are 2 types of lust. One is a lust, a desire, and then there's a second lust which is commonly known as sexual lust. That you get very carried away. Over here Krishna is just generalizing the topic of lust. So Krishna is giving an answer about that the problem, the enemy in the life is a desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. Lust का क्या meaning है? to enjoy separately from Krishna. So Krishna is not telling not to enjoy, but Krishna is saying don't enjoy separately. So Krishna is not a saddest God, but Krishna is a God who doesn't want you to become sad. Is this making sense? So Krishna wants us to enjoy, but enjoy with Him. Enjoy in a regulated way. So when you came to Mangala Aarti this time, or when Usha Mataji came, and when you people come to temple, why do people come to temple? Why do people like to associate? Because they're getting something much deeper, much better than people who don't get it outside. Why? Because when we align our desires with Krishna, right, as Dilip Prabhu summarized, align with Krishna, act for Krishna, and act for the pleasure of Krishna, and act on behalf of Krishna. That is the perfection of activity. Any activity which we do separately, then we have sinful implications. We have sinful implication. And guess what? Lust cannot be satisfied by any amount of sense enjoyment. We agree? And Prabhupada gives an example. As fire is never extinguished by constant supply of fuel, similarly, lust is not satisfied by sense enjoyment. The more you do, the more you want to do. Right? The more you go into it, Mataji, are you okay? Comfortable? So the more you get into it, the more you want more. Dil mange more. Pepsi. Dil mange more. You want little and little and little, बढ़ते ही जाता है. थोड़ा और, थोड़ा और, थोड़ा और, थोड़ा और. करते करते करते. We don't know how deep we go into it. Is this making sense, devotees? Do we all agree with it? That our desires are making us more in anxiety? Right? Our desires is the biggest problem. That is the reason I keep saying spiritual life is a life of desire management. Spiritual life is a life of desire management. What are my desires? Do I want to enjoy separately from Krishna? Do I want to be independent of Krishna? Do I want to be against Krishna? And Krishna will not interfere in that. Or do we want to align with Krishna? Do we want to accept Krishna? And do I want to work on behalf of Krishna? This is very, very straightforward. Bhakti, Prabhupada said, Bhakti is simple for simple people and complicated for complicated people. Bhakti is simple for simple people. Bhakti mein karna kya? Bhagwan ka naam lena hai. Chant the holy name, Baba. Where is the difficulty? Bhagwan ke naam lene mein dikkat kahan hai? There is no difficulty, but people will not take. As Dolly Mataji rightly mentioned, people will make all excuses not to chant. There's a beautiful cartoon when in Prabhupada's time. Once an old man was dying. Sorry. Once an old man was dying, and his wife is saying, chant, chant, chant. And you know what the old man is saying? Can't. But he's not saying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So we can have all the excuses. And this was an article, this was a cartoon in New York Times. Huh? This was an article in New York Times. जैसा अपना Amul का ad आता ना, you know, in India में every time Amul का, this was what Prabhupada was saying. An old man is dying on the bed and he's saying, the wife is saying chant, 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 and the old man is dying. But he's not, what is he saying? Can't. But he's not saying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Bolo, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. ये बोलना easy है, ये can't.
प्रभु जी वो चैंटिंग के लिए भी प्रभु की कृपा चाहिए ना?
नहीं, यस चाहिए प्रभु जी.
उसके बिना तो आप कर ही नहीं सकते.
अरे हर चीज पे प्रभु की कृपा चाहिए और प्रभु की कृपा हर पे बनी है. भगवान का नाम लेना, right? Krishna will not stop anybody to take his name. will you stop your son to come towards you? Simple. Forget about Krishna. If your son wants to come towards you, Pradeep Prabhu, छोटा बच्चा आपके पास भाग के आ रहा है, मना करोगे क्या? बाजू वाला का भी आता तो हाँ बोलते हम. ये तो अपना बच्चा है. So Krishna wants us to chant, or else why would he say Satatam Kirto Yanto Mam, 9th chapter, 14th verse? Why would he say this? Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Why would he say this? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nityam Matchita Matkata Pranam Bodha Yanta Parasparam Katha Yanta Mam Nityam. Again Nityam. He's talking about 24/7, and we are talking about few minutes and few hours in a day.
What I mean is, it's not about that God doesn't want us to do that. But mean is that we as a person haven't developed those passion or senses which can appreciate our association with the God. Because person has to be blessed. Because if we all are here, as you said in the beginning,
yes,
Krishna invited us.
Yes.
We can't come uninvited. So this means even for chanting, Krishna has invited us. Only then we can come. Without his mercy, we can't be here.
But Prabhu, just say.
So even someone is forcing a person, you chant, and something, if he's not being blessed for some reason from the past karmas, or for any other reasons, so no matter how much you try, so
okay, so
But is
it's
it
okay. It's a very Pradeep Prabhu's point is very valid. What Pradeep Prabhu is saying, even to chant the holy name of the Lord, you need to have the mercy of the Lord. Do we all agree with this? Yes. There's no doubt. भगवान का नाम लेने के लिए भगवान की कृपा चाहिए. MCG जाने के लिए भगवान की कृपा चाहिए. Yes.
उसके भी चाहिए.
Right. विलेज सिनेमा जाने के लिए कृपा चाहिए. बीफ खाने के लिए कृपा चाहिए. दारू पीने के लिए चाहिए. Yes or no? Please be loud. Right. हर चीज में भगवान की कृपा चाहिए. कृपा के पहले क्या होता है? There's one more layer. इच्छा शक्ति. On Friday, I choose to go to MCG because there's a footy match. I choose to get up late in the night so that I can watch T20. I choose to see the BJP आएगा, Congress आएगा. भगवान इसमें interfere नहीं करेंगे. He will allow you to watch it. Similarly, if you want to come over here, God will not interfere. He will facilitate your way. So please, there's a fine line into this. There's an इच्छा शक्ति. मेरी इच्छा क्या है? What is my free will? How am I using my free will in that minute? And Krishna will facilitate it. There are two things always. Ichha Shakti and Kripa Shakti. Right? Ichha Shakti, bolo? Ichha Shakti and Kripa Shakti. I may have many desires. I may want to get married to Katrina Kaif. But she doesn't want to get married to me. That is a separate thing.
इच्छा शक्ति तो catalyst है.
Right? So that is my इच्छा. But उसकी कृपा नहीं है. I want to play like Virat Kohli. But I'm not qualified. So where is my effort going? Similarly, भगवान के नाम लेने में, to get up in the morning or to chant any time, where is the difficulty? But our desires are not aligning to Krishna. That is the reason the problem is. Let's be very honest over here and be very truthful to yourself. There are two H. Be honest or be hypocrite. You can be honest to yourself or you can be hypocrite to yourself. Hypocrite का मतलब क्या है? मुंह में राम, बगल में छुरी. Right? I can say big things, but Krishna is in my heart. Right? Krishna is there in my heart. He knows मेरे दिल में क्या चल रहा है. So I can cheat you. You can cheat me, but we cannot cheat him. Am I right? I can cheat you, you can cheat me, but we cannot cheat Krishna. So chanting the holy name, as Dolly Mataji mentioned very rightly, कोई भी नहीं बोल सकता कि मेरे पास भगवान का नाम लेने के लिए वक्त नहीं है. It is just self-cheating propensity. How many defects are there? SSR days. How many defects are there? Let's go back to 6 months back. 4 defects. What is the first defect?
Incomplete senses.
Imperfect senses. Second?
Always an illusion.
Always an illusion.
Grossly foolish.
Always in illusion, self-cheating propensity. Third. No, sorry, I told the third one. Self-cheating propensity. And what is the fourth one? Imperfect senses. Always in illusion. Self-cheating propensity. I can't believe it.
Bound to make mistakes.
Bound to make mistakes. Please give a round of applause to Nanu Mataji. Yes. So there are 4 defects in every living entity. Bound to commit mistakes, imperfect senses, always in illusion, and self-cheating propensity. Out of these 4 defects, Pradeep Prabhu and everybody, हम सब में ये 4 खामियां हैं. Out of these 4 defects, 3 defects are not in our hand. Imperfect senses, can we ever be perfect? Yes or no, loudly? No. Bound to commit mistakes, can anybody tell that I will stop committing mistakes? No. Always an illusion, can anybody say कि कल से मैं माया में नहीं रहूँगा? No. But self-cheating propensity, is this in our hand or not? Yes. Thank you. So out of the 4 defects, 3 defects are not in our control. But the self-cheating propensity, अपने आप को cheat करना, कि मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, मैं कल से करूँगा और 6 महीने के बाद करूँगा. You don't know what I'm going through, Prabhuji. I've done this. Nobody can give me a reason which I've not given to someone. I repeat, nobody can give me a reason that I've not given. Right? So they say ना कि तुम जिस स्कूल में स्टूडेंट हो, वो स्कूल का मैं हेडमास्टर रह चुका हूँ. Right? I was the worst one. So I know how many reasons. I can write a book how not to come to Bhakti vriksha. जो excuses देते ना, प्रभु जी मैं तो आने वाला था, लेकिन वाइफ की तबीयत खराब हो गई. प्रभु पूरा वीक आपको पता ही नहीं कि कैसा गया है. I can write a book, right? Dummies of how not to attend Bhakti vriksha. Because मुझे 1999 से 2010 तक almost people invited me and I didn't go. कब से? 1999 में हलवा खा के भाग जाता था मंदिर में से. I used to go, have halwa and run away. But I said, अभी नहीं, थोड़ा करो, इंतजार, दिल है बेकरार. So nobody can tell me or give me a reason that why not to chant, how not to come to Bhakti vriksha. Bhakti vriksha में ऐसे excuses मैंने दिए हैं कि प्रभु जी मैं आने वाला था, लेकिन ना बच्चे की तबीयत खराब हो गई. I've given many excuses. My wife has also given many. So you can give me a reason, I can refute it easily because I've done that before. Experience player, Prabhuji.
The same excuses are getting at service too. People are coming to the service on Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
Always have excuses there.
Yeah. There's no losers always have excuse. Steve Jobs का dialogue है. Losers always have excuses. The losers की. So we're losing out of time.
I have a question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji.
आपने अभी बोला कि can't
हाँ.
और जो कि wife-
Chant.
So since we have to engage our senses in Krishna, what if the wife, instead of saying chant, what if she started chanting? तो जिनकी डेथ हुई उनका जो रिजल्ट होता वो क्या होता? मतलब since that person is getting engaged in the senses, Krishna के नाम में, मतलब बोल नहीं रहे थे, सुन तो रहे.
He will get a benefit.
He will
He will definitely get a benefit.
at the time of it.
Yes. Yam vyapi smaran bhavam tajayate ante kalevaram tam evati kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita ante kale chama evam smaran muktva kalevaram ante Narayan Smriti. 8th chapter 5th verse, 8th chapter 6th verse, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this. Whatever you listen, whatever you think at the time of death, that determines your next life. Can we move on? And okay, you go first.
Well, behind all the excuses of whether it's chanting or not attending Bhakti vriksha, would it not be a lack of willpower? Like
Absolutely.
And because
Absolutely.
I'll be honest, there have been times where like I've had to use willpower to chant. Like sometimes I have enough willpower to chant, and then sometimes I don't have enough willpower to chant. How can I overcome that problem?
Sadhu Sangha, lava matra ho. Associate with devotees. Associate with devotees. And then you will get the willpower. Looking at others. This morning, I was cooking with a devotee in the temple. Listen to this. Kumara, you may know this devotee. Deepak Goyal, who comes to our morning program. He gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning. What time? Loudly. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 2 baje uthta hai banda. Right? He gets up at 2 o'clock. Then he gets ready by 2:30. Then he gets his Laddu Gopal ready till 3:15, 3:20. And then he finishes his chanting by 5:15. Then he said, rather than waking up the Laddu Gopal, let me finish my chanting first. Ye dhyan se sunna. Let me finish my chanting first and then get Laddu Gopal ready. तो प्रभु जी मैंने ना 2 दिन ऐसा किया, लड्डू गोपाल मेरे से लड़ पड़े. What did he say? लड्डू गोपाल मेरे से लड़ पड़े. मतलब लड़ पड़े का क्या मतलब होता है? कि प्रभु जी, because I didn't bathe my Laddu Gopal first thing in the morning and I chanted, he didn't like it. You know, what did you experience? Prabhuji, I had terrible days. All the decisions which I made were wrong. And within 2 days, I went to Laddu Gopal and said, Baba, kal se tujhe main nalaunga. Mat kar aisa mere saath. So Krishna is a person. The more we interact with him in a personal way, Krishna reciprocates. Ye yathamam prabandante tam sathaivam bhajam aham. Tesa satatam yuktanam bhajantam priti purvakam. Dadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upyanti. 10th chapter, 10th verse, 4th chapter, 11th verse. Krishna says, as you surrender on to me, I reward you accordingly. So Lord is a person, and chanting the holy name is the easiest way to overcome this enemy. Because now Krishna is saying the enemy is lust. And when lust is not fulfilled, what happens? Wrath, anger. जो चीज हमें चाहिए अगर वो नहीं मिलती, what happens? We get angry. The only difference between word anger and danger, it is one word difference, which is D. So anger comes from our desires, unfulfilled desires. अपनी जो इच्छाएं पूरी नहीं होती, उससे हमें क्रोध आता है, गुस्सा आता है. Alright, in the interest of time, let's continue reading from 39 till 40. No, from 39 to 42, and we'll stop there for the day. Who would like to read? Karthi, can you read? Because you have an exam tomorrow, you can read.
Text 39. Thus the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by the eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. Text 40. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders them. For him. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, in the very becoming curve, he is great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses and slaying this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. Because the working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses, intelligence is still higher than the mind, and the soul is even higher than the intelligence. The knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, almighty armed Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer the insatiable enemy known as lust.
Jai. So what is the message over here? What is Krishna trying to say?
Study the mind by spiritual intelligence.
Study the mind by buddhi yoga, intelligence. Okay, so I've just summarized from over here. So 3.37 to 41, where is lust placed at? It is born out of passion. Right? Krishna says lust is born out of passion. When lust is not fulfilled, what it converts into? Anger. And anger is born out of Ignorance. I can share this, Mataji. Okay. Then, if the anger and lust is not fulfilled, what happens? Forces us to act sinfully. Do we all agree with this? Right? And who is the greatest enemy of this? Lust. And then Krishna says, he gives an example of, as the smoke is covered by fire, the mirror is covered by dust, the embryo is covered by a womb. Similarly, the lust can never ever be satisfied. Kabhi kamna hai. There's no end to desires. I've said this many times. How many desires do we have? Unlimited. Waves of an ocean. You convert the sky. One of the acharyas says you convert the sky into paper, and all the oceans of the world as an ink, and you can use the ink, write your desires on the paper of sky, and you will still not have enough place. Can you understand this analogy?
Yep.
What is the sky?
Universe.
The paper. And what is the ocean? Ink. You convert the ink and write it on the paper of the sky, तभी भी अपनी इच्छाएं पूरी नहीं होती. And what are we trying to do constantly? To fulfill our desires. कभी पूरी नहीं होगी. Right? So lust is never satisfied. And what is the sitting places of lust? Mind. अपना ये जो enemy है, please understand the enemy. Where is the enemy lying? In senses, in mind, and intelligence. And how do we purify this? By regulated senses. So the idea or the process of Krishna consciousness is to purify the desires. The process of Krishna consciousness is to purify the senses by regulating the senses. So we are not telling people not to have food, but have Krishna prasad. खाना मना नहीं करते. In other yogas, what do they say? You eat once a day, you're yogi. You eat twice a day, you're bhogi. You eat 3 times a day, Ram Ram hogi. And in Krishna consciousness, what we say? जितना खाओ खाओ, लेकिन भगवान का प्रसाद खाओ. Now what do you want to do? Choose. एक बार या बार. Right? So regulate your senses. We are not telling not to eat, but whatever you cook at home, जिसने दिया है, उसको offer करने में क्या problem है? Why do we have to convince our mind so much? वो खाएगा, नहीं खाएगा, do we really need to offer it? अरे बाबा, he's saying you offer it, I'm eating it. He eats with his eyes. Achyutam Keshavam Damodaram. Okay, what is up? You sing it here. Naranam Keval. कौन कहता है भगवान खाते नहीं? कौन कहता है भगवान खाते नहीं? तुम यशोदा के जैसे खिलाते नहीं. We don't feed him. That is the reason. Don't feed him. रखो उसके सामने. Where is the problem? Where is the difficulty? But our mind is so complex. Our mind is so complex. So regulate your senses, right? Engage the soul in Krishna consciousness. If the intelligence is strengthened, okay, now understand the process, and then we'll stop there in 3 minutes. This is Krishna is telling the problem. What is the problem? Lust. And from lust, what happens? Anger. So Arjuna is asking a question. I know what is right. I know what is wrong. Right? And Krishna is telling the problem is lust. And from lust, anger comes. But after telling the problem, he's also giving a solution. So Krishna is a very merciful person. He's also giving a solution. ऐसा नहीं कि हवा में छोड़ दे रहे, right? So Krishna is saying, regulate your senses, Baba, because intelligence and mind are difficult to control. Do we all agree with this?
Yes.
Very difficult, ना? आज आने के पहले कितने लोगों के दिमाग में आया कि if I don't go, is it okay or not? Be honest. You don't have to raise your hands, right? Thank you. ऐसा लगता है ना सुबह उठने के पहले 15 minutes more. The snooze button is the favorite button. Right? So regulate the senses. Right? And how to regulate the senses? By devotional service according to Shastras. Many people love reading Shastras, but they don't follow Shastras. पढ़ना अच्छा लगता है, भगवद गीता, भागवतम, ये पुराण, वो पुराण, लेकिन वो पुराने हो जाते हैं और शरीर छोड़ के चले जाते हैं. तभी मरने के बाद क्या नाम होता है? लेट जगदीश मोदी. लेट ना? Have you seen this?
He got late.
Why late? कभी सोचा है? Have you जब आदमी मर जाता है तो उसके सामने क्या लिखते हैं? Late. What does late mean?
He's already late.
Late हो गया ना बाबा. पूरा जीवन बिता दिया तुमने. That is the reason it is called late. Is it making sense? कितने चीज हमें जीवन में सिखाई जाती है कि लेट जॉन स्मिथ or whatever the name is, right? लेट क्यों लिखा जाता है? We don't want our name to be called late. क्या बोलते स्वर्गवासी, कभी बोलते नरकवासी. Have you heard? बोलते स्वर्गवासी हो गए, कभी देखा है? But we are so confident. उसने मीट खाया है, जुआ खेला है, पूरे जीवन शराब पिया है और क्या बोलते हैं वो स्वर्गवासी हो गए. Right? When you are telling him he is going to be स्वर्गवासी, think about your consciousness. Where are you going to go?
There's no such word like there.
Because everybody goes to स्वर्ग, हाँ? After उसमें लेट लिखते, लेट श्री, इतना रिस्पेक्ट से. अरे बाबा, उसने काम कैसे किए वो तो देखो. So Krishna is saying, regulate your senses, regulate your life, and in this way improve, strengthen your intelligence, and engage your mind in Krishna consciousness. These are the two things. And in this way, the senses will be regulated. In this way, the senses will be regulated. So senses, what happens? Senses drag the mind drags the intelligence, and intelligence drags the soul into sin. So if you don't want to engage the soul in Krishna consciousness, then what we have a choice? जो करते हो करते रहो. आज करे सो कल करे सो परसों. इतनी भी क्या जल्दी है जब जीना है बरसों. I know I'm eternal. The soul is eternal. Krishna is eternal. I am eternal. कितनी जल्दी क्या है यार? बहुत टाइम है अपने पास. That is one avenue of looking at it. Or we think, I don't know whether I'm going to reach home today or not. How many of us can put your hand on your heart and say, "Kya मैं घर पहुंचने वाला हूँ"? How many of us can? In spite of this, कई बार मेरी वाइफ पूछती है मुझे कि तू कल क्या खाएगा, और मुझे कई बार ऐसा लगता है, of course you don't want to tell again and again, but कल मैं रहूँगा या नहीं? We don't know. This is the reality of life. Like all the Mataji's asked ना कि कल क्या खाओगे, कल क्या ले जाओगे? We don't know. We are very confident कि कल ये बना देना, but how confident are we कि कल का सूरज मैं देख पाऊंगा? So a devotee should have a depth, the length and the breadth to understand that my life is just a momentary and it will go away in any second. It's 8:50. We'll stop over here. Any questions, comments, corrections before we go to announcements? Yes, Kumar and Dhruv.
I just want to add something, Prabhuji, which I heard from Abdul Prabhu. What he mentioned in one of the classes was you've got to control your senses by regulating them.
Yes.
You control your mind by chanting. You control your intelligence by reading Shastra, and control your false ego by serving.
Very good. Please give a round of applause. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you. Wonderful. So chanting is the medicine, and prasadam is the diet. Simple. Chanting is the medicine, and prasadam is the diet. If you can do these two things simple, then everything else will open up. Chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles and see how Krishna takes control. ये बच्चा बेचारा fruit लेके जा रहा था. You can see simple. He was taking fruits to work because he didn't want to buy anything which is not offered to Krishna. And Krishna made arrangements. If Krishna can make arrangements to Gitanj Prabhu, if Krishna can make an arrangement for an elephant in South Africa, If Krishna can make an arrangement for an ant, will he not make arrangement for you and me? Have some faith, Baba. Chant, chant, chant. Don't say can't. Okay? Alright, quick updates as Raj Manar Prabhu mentioned. 18th of June, which is next Tuesday. What is it? It is Nirjal Ekadashi. So Nirjal Ekadashi means absolutely no water. The best thing to do is have dinner in the night, a light dinner, and have some water and sleep. No water, no food the whole day. And next day, finish your chanting if possible, and then have something to eat. I'll send you a video of what to do a day before, what to do on that day, and what to do the next day. So don't eat too much. We think कि कल भूखा हूँ तो आज बहुत खा लूँगा. You just have to give a break to the system and give one break one day. अगर खाना नहीं जाएगा ना, we will have appreciation and respect for food, gratitude for food. Thank you. Yes, Usha.
I'm just going to ask, is there a special katha that you read
on Ekadashi?
Yeah.
Yes, the special katha is, raise your hands. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. तू मेरे नाम में तो मैं तेरे धाम में, तू नाम में तो मैं शाम में, तू मेरे नाम में तो तेरे काम में नहीं. So there will be no calm. What is calm? No lust. That is the power of Nam. So chant 64 rounds. We have a group where we chant 64 rounds every Ekadashi. Amit Prabhu is there in that group. Every Ekadashi, Amit Prabhu chants 64 rounds. काम भी करो, 7 घंटे chanting के, 7 घंटे काम के करो. If you can't chant 64 rounds, chant 51 rounds. If you can't chant 51 rounds, at least chant 25 rounds on Ekadashi. Prabhupada said. Chant at least 25 rounds. Why 16 rounds? Khana pina band kar diya hai. The time which we save in cooking and cleaning and everything, invest that time in Hari Katha, in Hari Kirtan. That is the reason we chant. How many rounds on Ekadashi? Minimum 25 rounds, if you can. Right? Next week, because we have completed chapter 3, shall we start chapter 4 next week, or shall we talk on overcoming sleeping challenges and discipline?
Overcoming sleeping
challenges. I'm asking everybody, क्या करना है? Shall we go on the floor or take a break of one class and talk about how to control the sleeping challenges and discipline in life? What do we want to discuss? Chapter 4, please raise your hands. Okay, so next week we'll take a break from the normal Bhagavad Gita. We will dedicate one class on discipline and sleeping. This is very, very important, and I've gone through a lot. मैं कोई दूध का धुला नहीं हूँ. I've gone through and I'll share my personal experiences also. Next, Mahamangla is on 7th of July. So you can plan 7th of July, it's a Sunday, and again we'll have a Mahamangla. And then the rest is, we have Bhakti Vriksha celebration and retreat. So if you have not registered for retreat, please register with Amit Prabhu now. I think we have only 7 or 8 spaces left, if I'm not wrong. So please, we only have a limited capacity of 50 people. So please register with him. Any questions, comments?
For 4th of August, we don't need to register.
No, for 4th of August we will do it is just simple prashadam catering, जैसा हम picnic वगैरह में करते हैं ना वैसे ही. So we just order prashadam from outside. So 4th of August, it is again a Sunday. So we will have Mahamangla on Sunday, and we'll have breakfast in the temple, and from breakfast we will all go to the Hare Krishna rally. Okay, I repeat, 4th of August, which is the first anniversary of our Bhakti Vriksha. It is Mahamangla because it is the first Sunday of August. So we will all come to the temple in the morning. We will have breakfast in the temple till 9:30, and from 9:30 we leave to the Hare Krishna Valley at 11 o'clock. From 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 4:30 we will spend time in the Hare Krishna Valley, and then we'll come back home.
No shouting.
Is that okay? Yes, Usha Mata ji, ज़्यादा लग रहा है heavy.
Just with my parents, I don't know if they can make it or not, but just
Whatever suits you. If you can't attend Mangala, come at 7 o'clock. Come at 9 o'clock. Whatever suits. Bhakti is optional. The beauty about Bhakti, everything is optional. Everything is in our freedom. Whatever suits. Whatever suits. And for people who have registered for Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, it's good. But if you have not registered for Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, it's full. Finished. Okay. So that retreat is already finished. So bad luck. Or good luck. Who have registered. Okay.
They can do a day or something. We can check.
Okay. So the Gaurang Darshan Prabhu retreat is completely booked. If you have any questions, contact Rajesh Prabhu. Because मेरे बच्चे बड़े हुए. Alright, kids form up.
Thank you. Mahaprasade Govinde, Mahaprasade Govinde, Namo Brahmane Vaishnave, Namo Brahmane Vaishnave, Swapa Punyavatam Rajam, Swapa Punyavatam Rajam, Vishwashunya Vajayate, Vishwashunya Vajayate, Shariraya Vidyajaya, Shariraya Vidyajaya, Jode diye tare kaal, Jode diye tare kaal, Jive mere vish sagre, Jive mere vish sagre, Taramati jivati, Taramati jivati, Logo moe sudarmati, Logo moe sudarmati, Take chita samsare, Take chita samsare, Krishna barodoyo moe, Krishna barodoyo moe, Gori bare jiva jai, Gori bare jiva jai, Swapashadam anilitbao, Swapashadam anilitbao, Seyam namitbao, Seyam namitbao, Radha Krishna gundao, Radha Krishna gundao, Preme takuji janimai, Preme takuji janimai, 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhagavad Gita.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Hare प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय,
गौर प्रेमानंदे।